Members of Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Women and Children are this hour expected to visit Enyobeni Tavern in Scenery Park. That is as the funeral service of the 21 teenagers who died in a local tavern there. The funeral arrangements, I should say, are continuing. Now, the cause of their death is still being investigated. Malungelo Booi is our reporter on the story. He's live from Scenery Park. Malu, what will be the point of this visit, and has it started?
No, Tembi, the lawmakers from the Portfolio Committee on Women and Children and People with Disabilities have not actually arrived here. They're expected to arrive any minute now to visit this site or this place, the Enyobeni Tavern, which is where exactly those 21 teenagers died over a week ago. As you have already indicated, the cause of death is still being investigated. This is their second day here in Scenery Park, Tembi. Yesterday, they spent some time interacting with the families of the deceased in a closed meeting. We were not allowed inside that meeting, and some of the people who were also in that meeting include officials from the Buffalo City municipality as well as police officers. But we were told by those who attended that meeting, especially the family members, that one of the things that they wanted as the families to hear from the police at least is when they will hear the outcome really of their investigation and the cause of death. And they were saying to us that they were told that the police can not tell them the cause of death in that particular forum. What they would do, I should say, is that they'll be visiting each and every one of those families who is affected and tell them when that will happen. Then, Tembi, really is anyone's guess. But the Portfolio Committee, really, Tembi, is here just to interact with those that are affected. In fact, I think here at this particular location, they'll be interacting with some of the neighbors, maybe some of the children that in fact survived that tragedy, just to try and understand as to what exactly happened. Because as things stand, Tembi, at least on the side of investigation, it's not clear really as to what happened. But we have been told by those who were inside that tavern at the time of the incident that there was a tear gas, fumes that were everywhere, and then that's where pandemonium ensued. People started falling, and some attempted even to get out through the windows, as some of the entrances and the doors of the tavern were actually closed. Tembi?
And Malungelo, as all of that is going on, there are these preparations being made for the mass funeral service to be held tomorrow. We're expecting President Cyril Ramaphosa to attend. But how can the families get closure when there are still so many questions unanswered about what happened on that Sunday morning?
In fact, Tembi, that's one of the questions that some of the families are actually talking about, saying that how do we actually even begin to bury our children when we actually don't know what killed them? And I suppose part of what was happening yesterday was to assure these families that they will, as soon as the police have completed their investigation, they will be told as to what killed their children inside that tavern. And Tembegile, there's so many questions really that were raised or that have been raised regarding the circumstances or how those children died, including, Tembi, that they were actually not even supposed to be inside that tavern because all of them, in fact, were under the ages of 18 years old. But I also think, Tembi, it's important to note that when the Portfolio Committee on Women and Children is done with their visit here at this tavern, what they will be doing is to go and interact with the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, the police, as well as the Social Development Department. Part of that, really, Tembi, would actually to find out what is it that these organizations or these government entities have done to actually avert what happened on that day. Remember, the Eastern Cape Liquor Board has come under harsh criticism, including the police from this particular area have come under harsh criticism from locals for failing to respond. Locals telling us, Tembi, that they had reported their concerns about this particular facility to the Eastern Cape League Board, to the local councillor, and including the local police. But nothing happened. But we also know, though, Tembi, especially from those who stay in this particular area, saying that they attempted to call the police on the day of the incident, but nothing came of it.
Malungelo, Booi, thank you very much for that update from Scenery Park. We'll touch base with you, as we've been doing for the last week or so later.